Hey guys, my name is Sarah and I'm with the University of Montevallo, and today I want to show you a cool craft that has to do with weather. We're doing a rainbow Suncatcher craft, and so today I've got all of my materials laid out. I'm going to show you what we have so that you can do this at home. I do want to point out, because we use an iron in this, you definitely have to have adult supervision and adult help. So remember that when we get to that part. Alright. So first we've got a couple of sheets of wax paper. Then we've got a few different crayons. I just grabbed an assortment. They happen to be in rainbow colors, but if you have a favorite color and you just want to do all of that, that's fine too. I've got a pencil sharpener that we'll use, pencil, some scissors, some yarn I had, a hole puncher, a small towel, and of course that iron I mentioned. So to get started, our first step will be spreading out our small towel. The reason we do this is so that when we get to the point of using the iron, we don't want to damage our surface right here. So I'm going to spread out this towel, and then I'm going to lay down one sheet of my wax paper. Now on this sheet of wax paper, hopefully things won't fly away. On this sheet of wax paper, I'm just going to take my pencil sharpener and just pick any of my colors and start doing little tiny bits on the wax paper. And you can put them wherever you want, as many or as few as you want, and you can make it as colorful as you would like. Now with this sharpener, I have to sharpen in here and then open it up to kind of dump it out. And it's a little windy, so I'm going to set a couple of things to hold my wax paper down. Alright, so here we go. We're going to open and just sprinkle around. Doesn't matter where you put it. And I'll just keep doing this with each of the colors. So when you have all the colors sharpened and everything kind of spread out, again, you can come through here, you can spread it out with your fingers a little bit more or just leave it as is. I do see a couple of places where I got just a little bit of my crayon wrapper. Before I began, I peeled some of these down, but sometimes it gets a little bit of the wrapper on there. If you see any of that, just grab it out. So at this point, we're about to do our iron. We have to cover up our crayon shavings with our other sheet of wax paper. Again, since it's a little windy outside where I'm doing this, I'm just going to hold this down. And this is where you're going to need your trusted adult, because we're going to be working with an iron. So for our adults, you'll want to plug in your iron and turn it to the lowest setting possible. It doesn't need steam on or anything like that. And in fact, it's going to use such a low setting, you'll barely have to glide it over here. So just keep that in mind. So let me go ahead and get that plugged in for us and let it start heating up. So now that the iron is heated up, we're going to have our trusted adult go ahead and just glide this gently back and forth and see what happens. It doesn't need a whole lot of pressure at all. And you can see already the colors are melting, they're blending together. It almost looks like paint. Alright. So I think we're pretty good there. Okay. So we're going to turn off our iron. We do not need it anymore. And we can get that unplugged and set aside. Alright, so I set my iron aside because we don't need it anymore. And you can see what happened when we used a little bit of heat and just glided it over our crayons. So for our next step, I need a pencil. And if you had some stencils for a rainbow or really anything, you could use that and just draw directly on here. Since it's a rainbow, I'm going to do just a very simple freehand and just do a couple of little designs here. Okay, pretty easy. And I like to use the pencil because it just kind of leaves a little bit of indentation here on the wax paper, not a hard line or anything, and it'll be easy to follow along with my scissors when I go to cut it out. Alright, so the next step is cutting these out. Alright, so the next step is you can take these just as they are, and if you have permission you can maybe tape them on your window so that you can see the sunshine just in your bedroom or in the kitchen window or something like that. You can also make the Suncatcher by kind of hanging these at different lengths, and so I happen to have a hole puncher. We're going to punch some holes in the tops of these, and then like I said, use my yarn and just make a little string of these at different heights. Whatever you want to do is fine. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and punch holes in the top of these. Now I'm going to take my yarn and just cut off a few different lengths of string. For this, I want them to be different lengths on the Suncatcher, so I'm going to cut varying lengths instead of making them all the exact same. So I've cut 5 different pieces of yarn, one for each of my 5 little Suncatcher pieces, and then I want to do one more piece of yarn that will go across horizontally, and it'll hang each of those rainbows from it. So now that I've tied my yarn for each of my little rainbows, I'm going to take my big piece and connect all of them to it. So now I'm all done tying everything. We've got different lengths, we've got lots of different colors, and what you can do is ask a grown-up maybe to hang this up. You can put it in a window, you could even use a couple pieces of tape and tape it to the window. But the nice thing is, especially on a really pretty sunny day, when the sun catches it, you probably can't see right here, but when the sun catches those, it really does almost look like stained glass or something like that. And it's just a nice way to think about, you know, weather and nature any day of the week. So thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed making this fun rainbow Suncatcher craft. If you end up doing one of these and you want to send us pictures, please do so. We would love to include yours on our social media and webpage. So thanks so much, and happy camping!